Seen various, I would say very few of you, at least in my experience, are using technology. Until recently we didn't have a great tool. Some of you maybe send this through EasyPick or VoicePick. There's some challenges with that as well. This is a different solution to accomplish the same thing, which is to pick or build these intercompany transfers. Okay? You're doing it on paper, which is the most common thing. We'd see someone generate a pick list, likely, and just hand it to the forklift driver and say, go find all the oldest or maybe newest pallets in backstock for this and load them on the truck that's in dock 4. So that's a very common way, and it's always been done. And again, we have a much more newer tool to do this, and the tile in EasyOps is called Managed Transfers. Build Transfers is the actual end user tool to build these. We're going to focus on the management piece of it. Again, keep that manager, supervisor out on the warehouse floor. We'll go through a high level process of this, of how we touch these 3 tiles. We can go through a demo, come see us at the help center. I could spend 25 minutes going through the full-blown demo of each piece of this and who has a part of it. High level, let's just talk about, right? From warehouse A to warehouse B, super simple, common example, okay? So today, warehouse managers, by using the tools, right? Someone creates this transfer order and work with orders and beverage. Most of you are familiar with that. The new stuff, which I'm going to show you, Managed Transfers tile and EasyOps, you can actually assign those transfers or part of the transfer to certain warehouse personnel. Those forklift operators using EasyOps then go around and basically gather the pallets that are going on. They'll basically have a task, kind of like a task-based list, where it's going to say, go here and grab this pallet, which is the oldest code date, and bring it over here. So they're gathering these pallets, put them on the truck. The key piece to this is when they gather these pallets, they are scanning the pallet IDs on these pallets. The real huge kicker on this is that as you scan the pallet IDs to get them on this transfer truck, when that truck drives over to the other warehouse, you then can leverage using those same pallet IDs to receive it in warehouse B in this example. So as that transfer truck pulls up, you could open that back door and you could scan the first pallet ID that you see on there, and it knows item, quantity, code date. You just tell it the location. Essentially, the end result is that you have created a little intra-company ASN or advanced ship notice network from the warehouse to your other warehouse. So the huge upside is on the receiving when it gets to warehouse B in this example. So I'm just going to touch on quickly what the management piece of it looks like. So Managed Transfers tile, here we are. Again, this is the management role. We're not going to focus on the actual picking of it. In here, this lists all my intra-company transfers. In my hypothetical warehouse, I do a lot of them here on my screen. You'll see a bunch of info in here. Progress bars, those are nice. So in my first little footstep example, you have the ability to see how far are we on the truck, you know, that's backed up to door 1, that top one there. You can see how far along we are. We've got picking and loading info on there. You can assign a picker. The picker can be the same person who loads it. We built this specifically for those customers who kind of use it in 2-step process. Someone goes and gathers all these pallets from backstock, brings them to the dock maybe, and then there's a second person on a forklift who takes them from the dock actually onto the truck. If you have someone, right, that sounds like overkill, which for many it will be. If your person picking or building these intercompany transfers is the same one who actually drives these pallets onto the truck, your picker and loader would be the same person, and they would be told to load it right onto the truck. So we can assign a user, we can assign both a staging location if you did the 2-step process that I just described, or a loading location as we call it, which is the door number that you've assigned to a given transfer. Long story short, as the daytime supervisor in that first screenshot of footsteps, I didn't need to go to the office to check where we were. I didn't need to leave the dock at all. If I have a tablet in my hand, I can say, you know, we're halfway done, 46% done, that first transfer order, that's in dock door 1. Let's start backing up the next truck into door 5, which is the second example there. I can do all that from the warehouse floor. again, this goes a lot deeper. Come see us next door at the Help Center for a deeper example. But again, LBI, if you are multi-warehouse and doing intra-company transfers. Managing the picking shift, right? The challenge, same one we've been talking about. Most of you use WaveStat today. For those of you who aren't familiar, we have a much newer, better